Hi everyone, welcome back to Needle Workshop. My name is Emily, and today I'd like to go over our newest release, which is the Demon Slayer pattern, and show you just how versatile all our patterns for this series truly are. Okay, so to begin with, I'd like to point out that we have available right now 2 different bundles, which include a few different pieces. So the first bundle that we put out was the Mitsuri bundle, which as you can see here includes the shirt, the jacket, the skirt, but also a kimono, which is slightly shorter than the other one, has big square sleeves, and is not fully lined. Now, if you're wondering if the bust comes with this bundle, no, it doesn't, but the pattern is available online on our Etsy store. Now, our other bundle is this one here, which is our Demon Slayer corpse uniform, which covers almost every character. So it includes the dress shirt, the pants, and a slightly bigger kimono. And this kimono, contrarily to the other one, is fully lined. And this is because a lot of the kimonos that they wear are either printed on or have some kind of quilting work. So to hide the print, you want it to be lined. It also includes pockets because since it's lined, you can't see them from the inside. Now keep in mind that once a garment is fully lined, it's much more maintenance than the other version. So optionally, if you didn't want the high maintenance of a lining, you can always opt out from inserting a lining. Another fun thing about this particular pattern is that it comes in sizes XL to XXL in both male and female sizing. So there are some subtle differences between patterning for a male body and a female body. So if you look at the pattern, you'll see that there are 2 sets of lines, one which includes essentially a dart, but also includes a little bit more shaping around the waist, which is meant more for a female body, and one which is a bit straighter, which is meant more for a male body. Now it's up to you to choose which one works best for you. Our pattern is accessible and made for everyone with no exception. Now that you know about these 2 bundles, I would also like to let you know that we have a few individual listings for all of these pattern pieces. So essentially, you can find the skirt and the kimono for Mitsuri as individual pieces available online. And for the Demon Slayer corpse pattern, you have the kimono, the shirt, and the pants, all also available separately from each other. Now, the reason for this is because a few of the characters don't actually need a full set of bundles, and some characters even need something from each of the bundles. So to make sure that we can cover every character, we decided to list all the pieces individually as well as the bundles. So I wanted to give you guys some examples of what I mean here. So here are 2 characters that, for instance, do not require either one of those bundles, but might require 1 piece or 2 pieces from different bundles. The first one that comes to mind for me is Kanao, which, if you guys remember well, uses essentially this shirt combined with this skirt. So instead of just making another bundle for her, you can in fact just find the skirt separately, the shirt separately, and omit to get a kimono altogether because contrarily to most characters, she doesn't really wear one. She wears more of a shawl piece, which I don't think our pattern would be very useful for. Another fan favorite, Inosuke, for example, only wears the pants and nothing else because, of course, he does. The idea here is you wouldn't need anything else but the pants, so you can just buy the pants, especially if it's the only character that you want to cosplay. I'm trying to think of other characters here. I can't think of any other personally because, to be fair, I've only been watching the anime. I haven't read the manga, so I'm not familiar with all the characters yet. But from memory, those are 2 that I know for a fact individual listings would work for. Now, another thing I would like to go over with is how to do some basic modifications to the patterns to even more accommodate for different characters. There are two in particular that I want to cover. Uzui. So for those of you who don't know, Uzui does not actually wear the kimono, but he does have the Demon Slayer Corp uniform, except it is sleeveless. Obviously, it might seem a little straightforward. You just don't put in the sleeves, but how do you finish the armholes? And are there any modifications to do to the armholes? Ideally, when making a sleeveless shirt from something that was already patterned to be sleeved, a good general rule of thumb is to bring your armhole a little bit further up. Because of how sleeves are designed, the armhole tends to go a bit lower, but when it is sleeveless, it does generally look nicer if you bring it up by maybe 1 to 2 centimeters. I would say just test it out with your mock-up. And then from there, you want to create a facing. So to make a facing, it's really easy. You just trace out the armhole and add like 5 centimeters back and front. You join the pattern at the top, so you remove the seam allowance of 1 cm on both sides and then kind of glue them together. And then you have your facing piece. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna cut out 2 of them, you're gonna sew them at the bottom, and then you're gonna place them right side to right side along your armhole, so 1 centimeter from the edge, turn it inside out, and you can top stitch it in place. So it's not our first time doing this, I'm just kind of explaining to you how it's done. So you can really apply this same technique to just about anything that you want to remove the sleeve from a pattern. Now, another character that I wanted to go over with was, what's his name again? All right, so the Miss Hashira Muichiro Tokito. So Muichiro Tokito essentially is the only character that I can think of that has like big bell sleeves. So how I would personally go about this is me personally, so you might want to address this differently, but you want to keep the sleeve and you want to keep the basic armhole pattern. So the way, if I'm not mistaken, I need to double check how exactly our sleeves are patterned. Give me a second. Our sleeve pattern is a 2-piece sleeve pattern, which is a traditional sleeve pattern generally for jackets. So the way I would go about it, I believe, is I would essentially take my 2 pieces and kind of remove the seam allowance for this line here and kind of overlap them, just so I get my basic armhole shape. From there, I would essentially just slash and spread my sleeve until I get just the amount of volume that I want at the bottom. Yeah, that's how I would do it. And then you kind of reshape it at the bottom and you get a nice big bell bottom sleeve, and you know that the armhole still matches perfectly with that of your pattern initially. So I think that kind of covers everything I wanted to touch on today. I really hope this kind of information is helpful. We're really, really proud of this pattern. I think it's kind of cool now that practically any of the characters are accessible to anyone. For those wondering, well, what about more characters like maybe Nezuko? Are you guys gonna have a pattern for that? And the answer is yes. Actually, it's in the making as we speak. From the time of this video release, it's not gonna be our next pattern release. We currently have a nice collaboration with Vicky Bunny Angel, so we're gonna be making Hinata. But right after, we're gonna be pumping out Nezuko. At this point, I believe that most of the more popular characters from Demon Slayer will be available on our Etsy store, which link in the description box below, by the way, or you can check us out at NDLWRKshop.com. So don't forget to like and subscribe, especially if you would like to see more of these kind of videos. As always, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We also now have a TikTok, so you can check us out on there. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. So I think that covers everything for today. So until next time, good luck with your projects, guys. Bye-bye.